Hello sports card collectors, welcome to Ken's Cardboard. It's been a while since I made a video. It's because I've been traveling a lot for work and for fun and for other family issues. This video is my kind of recapture video of my trip to Toronto for the Expo there that they had in Mississauga, which is a suburb outside of Toronto. And I'm going to adjust my camera there. It was a little crooked. Before the show, I reached out. I've been planning this show, going to this show since last summer, since the National last year, like looking for some vintage hockey cards, and one card in particular that I will share that I picked up. And I've been talking to one of my friends, Walter at Placa Cards, who no longer makes videos, unfortunately, but we still hang out and still friends on our chat group. And also reached out to Mike Canadian Cards and a few other people to see if I would be able to connect with them at the show. So a couple weeks ago, the show happened like 2 weekends ago, and was able to combine it with a work trip that I had in Detroit, so that was fortunate that I didn't have to pay for a flight. And then I was able to stay with my friend Walter with his family. Very generous of him to do that. He has a great family, and so thank you, Walter, for that. I got to the border from Detroit. I flew into Detroit and then got some Detroit style pizza, which is very good if you've never had that before. I like many types of pizza. Detroit's just one of them. Got to the border, took about 40 minutes to get through, no problems there, just a lot of traffic, just people going back for the afternoon on Friday. Made it up to Toronto and later that night, and then hooked up with my friend Walter, and we went out to have some beers with some friends, and met some other people who collected cards, and it was pretty fun just hanging out. It was a bunch of coaches from his youth baseball group. The next morning, we went to the card show and found a pretty big show there. It's pretty exciting. I have some photos I'll share of the show here. But yeah, picked up some cards there, and then went back on Sunday as well, and to spend the rest of my money that I had, and then headed back home went back to Michigan on Monday morning. So yeah, it was a really good trip. Weather was good, and I met a few people, met some friends there, and picked up some cards. So let's show the cards that I picked up from. All right, let's check out some cards. First, I'm going to start with the cards I got from my buddy Walter at Placa Cards. He hooked me up with this really cool Clubhouse collection from 2018, Topps Heritage. Always good to have a little purple napkin in your collection. The Chuck Nasty. Congratulations. And then some of you may know that I'm a David Bodie fan because I know his brother went to church together, and Walter pulled this out of a pack in 2021 Topps, and this is the Mother's Day parallel, 6 out of 50, the pink. Shout out to all the mothers out there. I don't know if there's any mothers who watch my channel, but tomorrow is Mother's Day, so very cool, Walter. Thank you for hooking me up with those. So the card show was about 50% hockey, I would say, maybe a little bit more than that. And also 25% Pokemon, and then the rest of the 25% was probably 10% or 15, I don't know, percent baseball, and then you got basketball and football were in there too. So, but yeah, there was a lot of hockey. There's a whole section of vintage hockey, and there was a couple of vintage hockey around, but I wouldn't say every table had hockey, but I would say most tables had hockey. There was a few tables that were baseball only. I didn't see any basketball or football only. Maybe there was a couple, but I think most tables had at least hockey there. But it was a pretty big show. wasn't. I would say it's a little bit more than half the size of the National. I think. I don't remember how many tables they said there were there, but it was pretty. You couldn't see it all in one day at the expo. At least if you wanted to look at some of the tables in detail, and if you wanted to spend time looking through boxes, not just the showcases, you would have been there for the 4 days probably. I was there for Saturday and then Sunday. So I'm going to start from what I picked up last to what I picked up first, and show you what I got. So, and as I was leaving, I think I had like 85 Canadian dollars left, and I wanted to make sure I spent all of my Canadian cash because I took cash up to Canada. I picked up this card here. This is a orange disco of Bo Nix, quarterback of the Broncos. Had a pretty good season last year. Took them to at least the first game of the playoffs, but they got taken out. So I thought that was a nice looking card, color match. I like Bo Nix, and I still watch football, even though I watch hockey and baseball. Actually, I haven't been watching that much baseball. But yeah, this is from 2024 Prism. Not numbered though. Looks like I'll probably crack it out of that. Maybe send it into PSA. Who knows? And then the first day after I purchased my big card, which I'll be showing last, I was looking for some Caitlin Clark cards. I really enjoy watching her game, and I wanted to pick up a few cards before the season started. So I don't know if it's a good time to pick them up or not, but I think all of her cards are going to skyrocket, so it'd be a good time to pick up a few of them before they get too pricey. I looked around on the first day and didn't see that many Caitlin Clark cards. I saw a few. There was one lady who was only selling women's sports cards, so women's hockey and women's basketball, and she had a few Caitlin Clarks. And then there was another table dealer that I went to that had about, I don't know, 30 or 40 different versions, but they're mostly the base versions. So nothing crazy. I'm looking mainly for parallels, but couldn't find much at the show. There was one person, a dealer, who had just opened a WNBA box and pulled this one. I think it was one out of 199 or maybe 99. I think it was like a red pulsar or something. I don't know what they call it. Panini doesn't put the names on the back of their cards, but he wanted like $600 for it. So I passed. The next day I went back and talked to the guy again about that red card, and I didn't really like the image on the card, but just to see if I could get a deal on that, and he wasn't really willing to budge. So I went back to another dealer where I saw this Hearst rookie card from Select. This is the Silver Prism in the PSA 10. I like the image on here. I like the design. It's not crazy about the design, but I like it better than some of the other designs. But pretty nice card to add to my collection there. And then I went back to the woman who had the other, who was only selling women's cards, and she had this version of that same card, the pink ice, or pink cracked ice. She had a little business called Chirp. I haven't looked it up online or anything, but picked up both these cards for a decent price, so pretty happy with that. She said if she wasn't going to sell this card, she was going to send it to PSA, so we will see if I send that on or not. Nice little cracked ice. And then on the first, that was my second day. On the first day, at the end of the day, after I picked up my big card, and maybe some of you were disappointed that I didn't pick up more vintage hockey cards. I know that people were looking for me to pick up some vintage hockey cards because that's what I said I was going to do, but they weren't speaking to me when I was at the show. But I brought a couple cards to trade or sell at the show, and I had this card. It was the 2018 Panini Kaboom Bo Bichette, and that was like a pre-MLB card. So I had that card, and I saw this card in the showcase here. This is the 1989. I think this is a 2023 Archive Signature Series. Bo Jackson autograph out of 9. And they wanted 400 Canadian for it, and he wouldn't really budge off that price. I thought that was a pretty good deal. And then I ended up showing him the cards that I had, and he was interested in that Kaboom, and we ended up making a straight up deal for that. So I was very happy to oblige to pick up a Bo Jackson and trade my Bo Bichette. If you don't know, Bo Bichette was named after Bo Jackson by his dad and mom. So pretty cool. I think I'm not sure if maybe Bo Bichette and Dante Bichette and Bo Jackson played on the California Angels at one time together. But happy to pick up. That's my first Bo Jackson on autograph. I do have him on a card. I do have him on a baseball. And then I pick up my first card here. This is what the whole reason I went to this show was to go see if I can find this card. It's a Wayne Gretzky rookie card, and this is the card I ended up picking up here. There was a lot of dealers who had a couple of these cards. There was one dealer that had, like, I don't know, maybe 30 or so, maybe more, 40 of these, but all his prices were a little bit high, and a lot of them were off center. And he felt like I think I felt like he was cornering the market at the show, so he was charging whatever prices he wanted to. I found this one table where this gentleman had, he was a collector, he wasn't really a dealer, it's just selling his cards, and he had like 4 or 5 Gretzky rookies, and this one is the O-Pee-Chee version, and he had we had one, a PSA 5, and he also had and this SGC 5. I think he also had SGC 4, but we ended up working a deal for this one. I was really happy. It was the best centered one that I saw for the price and the grade. I wasn't sure that I was picking up an O-Pee-Chee, but I'm definitely happy that I got this version. It's not perfectly centered, but centered enough for me, and very happy to add the Gretzky rookie card in the O-Pee-Chee version to my collection. Maybe one day I'll pick up the Topps version, but I just love the back of these cards. Love the design with the skate cartoon. So added another big card to my collection, and was happy to do it while hanging out with my buddy Walter at the show, and he was helping me search for the card, and we're comparing all the cards. So it's always fun to hang out with a buddy and look for cards together and get their opinion and whatnot while shopping for cards and get a second opinion. So there you go. There's my recap of the Expo. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day, and we'll see you next time. Peace.